I think I went to a dance one time with Jim Collins.
Brother of Tom.
He should have been. But I've blocked it out. I don't know. Jim Collins, maybe to a dance, we got our picture made, then we left.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't because he was easy on the eyes. It was because he didn't have a date and I didn't have a date. Remember, I was fat. But I just don't. I don't know. This is something you can delve into in your paper of my amnesia.
I may have to dig
You've
deeper
repressed
with
those
you.
memories.
I may have to dig deeper with you.
Yes.
I remember mine because it was it was my first John Mayer concert. I was 15 and my mom was again, my parents said no dating, but it was a John Mayer concert at the Tennessee Theater and I begged and pleaded and begged and pleaded. I mean, just constant. I said, please, 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 please. And they let me, and this was before cell phones, so they just went on, good merit, I guess, but I'll never forget it. It was before John Mayer was big, and it was so cool at the Tennessee Theater. The guy was a dud, and I'm not going to say his name because we both went to school here, but
You know we're going to ask you later.
but it's so embarrassing. Remember, I was 15, and but that started my love of John Mayer. Boyfriend didn't last, but I went on. I think I've been to 5 John Mayer concerts. So,
We all love John Mayer.
So good.
Yeah. Great. Okay, number 9. What are or were you looking in for a mate? What were you looking for? And did you plan or do you plan to marry?
Let's talk about husband number 1.
Let's do.
Yeah, I was 25 when I met him, and I think I felt like I needed to get married because all of my friends were married. And we had a whirlwind romance. He was really good looking. He was really smooth talker. We were married 6 months after we started dating. And it didn't take me long to figure out that that was not a good decision on my part because he quit his job 2 weeks after we got married. And so I spent a lot of time financially supporting him, kicked him to the curb. And I was divorced for about 7 years before I remarried. And I married somebody who's the opposite. He's steady Eddie, hard-working man, has been wonderful to my child, has been a good provider. Right now he's on my nerves because he just wants to go camping every weekend. But he's a good guy, but if he drops dead, though, I won't get married again.
Sounds like a country music song.
It totally is. Totally is.
What was I looking for in a mate?
And a mate, and were you planning on getting married? Did you want to get married?
Yeah, I felt like I did want to get married because I wanted to have children because that's just what you do. I guess it was important to me to find somebody that was motivated and educated and able to contribute something to the marriage. I married Joe when I was almost 26. And, I mean, has it been perfect? Heavens no. If I ever get unmarried, do I want to marry again? Heavens no. Because my mom, my aunts, and people that I've worked with who I admire have demonstrated that you can be happy, you can be successful, you can be fulfilled, you can have friends, and you don't need no man. So I'm coming into that now.
I have never been married, nor do I want to be married. I think I was in a 3-year relationship. We lived together, and after that was over, I felt like I could breathe. I hated living with him, and he was only home on the weekends. And I absolutely hated it. I couldn't wait for him to leave for work again. And I loved him, but I hated living with him. It's me and my son, and I feel like he's missing out on a bond with a father figure. But when my ex lived with us, we were in turmoil all the time. I wasn't happy. And then when he left, it's like we could both breathe again. We were happy. I wasn't having to clean up after somebody else. And I think if I was to get in another relationship, I want it to be we both have our own homes, And if I did marry somebody, separate bedrooms. I mean, I don't want to.
Yes.
Yeah, like in the
Casey's been around
Crown.
us for a long
Yeah,
Yes.
and
We
we
have
have
a room.
rooms down the hall from each other.
I
Like,
see a lot of
leave
yes
me
heads
alone.
shaking, and
Mm-hmm.
well, this one goes into that question also. What is your ideal of an ideal marriage? What do you think an ideal marriage is?
As hard of a time as I give poor Ray, we are close to what I would consider an ideal marriage. We enjoy doing a lot of things together. We have a lot of things in common, but we also enjoy doing things separately. So I have hobbies that he does not enjoy, and he does the same. It's just been in the last 2 years that he, for whatever reason, has felt like we have to do everything together, and that's kind of new, and we've been married a long time. But in that sense, just having space to be your own person and still being a partner. I like having a partner. We partnered in raising his child and my child together. We've partnered in supporting financially both the kids, getting them through school. He's got my back on things. If he thinks somebody's mean to me, he's going to be ready to whoop somebody. But at the same time, it could be more perfect if I could have my own room and my own space. And because now his clutter gets on my nerves. We have decades of clutter that is now accumulated in my home, and I want to burn it down. I hope it doesn't actually catch on fire, because now it's on tape that I said that. but it's pretty close to perfect, I think. As perfect as it can be. But, we argue. We have arguments and go for long periods without one. But I feel one brewing. It's about time for one.
I think an ideal marriage is when my husband gets the job that Casey's boyfriend had.
Railroad.
But I think you touched on it, Anne, a sense of partnership where not one person feels like they have control over the other, whether it's financial or whatever. And that has kind of shifted in my marriage recently, financial control. My husband lost his job a few years ago, and I was able to inherit some money from a relative, and it really shifted the power play. In my opinion, it did. He might disagree, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad. So I just feel like that I'm a different person in my marriage now, because if things got to a point where I felt like I didn't need to be there, I have the means and the opportunity just to pack my car and put it in drive and drive away. And I think he knows that too, and it's made a difference. So I think we're stronger, better from an event that I thought, oh, well, this is it, this is the end. It's turned out to be a good thing.
If I'm in a relationship, I think I would want someone educated, someone that I could have meaningful conversations with, and someone that had the same values and beliefs as me. And it's hard in a small town like this to find people that are on the same level.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really hard. And so, someone that's tidy. And I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I think I'm okay by myself. And I have friends that do stuff, but it would be nice to have a partner to be able to go do things with. That's what I would like to do.
I'll rent Ray out.
Well, we could do that.
Yes,
Because my
yes.
son's getting older, and he doesn't like to do everything with mom anymore.
Yeah.
So
If you ever
I
wanna
kind of
go
have
to a
to force
concert,
him.
you
Yeah,
can go
I
with
do
Ray.
like concerts.
John
Go with
Mayer.
Ray doesn't care who it is. He'll go.
Just a concert. Yeah.
He'll go.
Okay, we go into the next question, which is similar. What do you think the right age for marriage is? Do you think there is a right age?
I don't think there's a right age. My parents got married. My mom was 17 and my dad was 21, and they're still married. And they have not always had things easy. They started out struggling financially, and they've been through ups and downs, but they have persevered. I was 26 the first time I got married, and it didn't work. And then my daughter didn't get married till she was 27 or 28. So I don't think there's an age. I don't know what makes you know you're ready. My brother tried his hand at marriage, and they stayed married about 5 years, and it didn't work out. He was 35 when he got married. So I just don't think there's an age. It has to be that person at that time.
I agree. I think it's just based on the maturity of the people involved.
I agree, and I think you have to kind of know yourself and not rush into anything, but some people know each other for a month and last forever, so it just depends.
Okay. Did you plan to have children? How many? Were you thinking about this? Did you see yourself as a parent? What do you expect from your spouse as a parent?
Wow, that was tough. It's not really tough. I knew I always wanted to be a mom, and you know, in my pre-marriage life, I thought I would have 2 or 3 kids, and then in that first marriage that only lasted a few years, I had a child, and I knew after she was born that I could not have another child with that man because he was not going to support a family. And then I was single for a long time, and when Ray and I got married, Sarah was 10, and then he had a son that was 14, so that came to live with us. So it was poof, instant family. He was the lenient parent, I was the strict parent, so we did not have a good balance when it came to that. And I think part of that was because he had never had Denver with him all the time. It was always just, you know, weekends, vacations. It was always about having fun, so he didn't know how to set those boundaries, and he didn't ever want to try to overstep his bounds with Sarah, with my daughter. It has all worked out beautifully. He loves her like she's his. I love Denver. Those two get along great, which is amazing. They've only ever had one argument. I don't know. I don't feel like I answered your question.
You do. You do.
But I do think kids need boundaries, and parents, hopefully when you get married, I guess my advice, Casey, if you were ever to like have a relationship with somebody and they wanted to try to parent your child, just make sure they want to have similar philosophies on parenting. That leads to some huge fights. Been there, done it.
I forgot the question.
It's about parenting.
Did you plan to have
yes.
children? How many? And what do you expect from your spouse as a parent?
Yes, I wanted children. I think I played with dolls a lot. But I do think that the teenage years have about put me in the grave, and a lot of it has to do with the different. So you say.
It's gotta.
I promise it gets better.
I mean, we do have a difference of opinion in parenting that makes it really hard. I think one person does need to be good cop, bad cop, but at the end of the day, you both have to agree, okay, this is for the child, what's best for the child. So it's been a challenge, oh yeah, and we're still living it, but
But then the one day they're grown and gone, and you can do what you want.
okay, I hope you're right.
When that day comes.
Yes.
It'll happen.
I'm sorry, Casey.
No, you're okay.
This is a great story to tell right now with parenting.
That's why I'm getting
My
tickled.
daughter was calling me during this interview. Pick up, she says. I put can't. She said emergency. I said type it. Her emergency was Dad will not be driving my car anymore. Period. So I thought that was very timely to share. Did you read this question?
That's hilarious.
Perfect.
Oh, that's
Thank you for sharing.
Well, being a single parent has its pros and cons. I make all the decisions, but that's also a con. I make all the decisions. I don't have somebody else to say, what do I do? So I ask friends, I ask family. Sometimes I want to post on Facebook, but I'm not going to humiliate my kid like that. And I pray a lot. And you just hope that you're doing the right thing. You hope that you're not messing your kid up too bad in the long run. I knew I wanted kids. I didn't think I'd have them as early as I did. But my niece was born, I was 15. And they lived with us for a while, so I've always felt like she was my baby. And I've got I've got 2 nieces and a nephew, and then my son, and they're all pretty close. So I feel like they're all he's got siblings, even if they don't live in the home, which might be even better. It's probably why they get along so well.
Okay, thank you. Ladies, we'll get away from the marriage stuff. Okay. Tell me about your closest friends. What common interests do you have? What qualities do you look for in a friend? And how often do you spend time with your friends now?
Wow. All of my friends are at work. They really are. Catherine and I have worked together for about 20 years in one capacity or another. I like hanging out with her just because she's funny. And if yeah, so we play off each other. And I still go back to that time at the park with you and Gretchen doing the gale off.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of my favorite memories. But we spend a lot of time at work, and I think that's where naturally a lot of people make friends. I have other friends that I go camping with that I met through my husband. They're wives of people that he works with. But still my closest friends are my work colleagues. And I guess the people that I value the most are the people that I see every day, that work hard every day, that share their values about education and caring for kids and doing the best they can every day, putting a good face forward even when we don't feel like it, not really slapping a coworker on slap a coworker day, even though we want to. And all my friends are funny. Why is that? I don't know how that happens, but it does. So yeah, I appreciate people that can lighten the mood, but still be serious when they need to be at work, if that makes any sense.
Yes. And I think all my friends are funny too. And I think I'm the common denominator.
You're the funniest.
Yeah. No, I have different friends that I'm very close to from different times in my life. Still very close to my high school friends. I could text. I saw something funny on a car yesterday, and I took a picture of it and sent it to my friend who I went to preschool with. I don't talk to her very often, but she immediately thought it was hilarious. So my good friends are funny and they're loyal, and they don't have to talk to me every day to feel like that we have a good relationship. But my friends, I feel like, are who really get me through the rough patches. Like my husband, he's great, but I really feel like that your friends, no matter what stage of life you're in, they're your soulmates, and your husband or your spouse or your wife, they're like
a little bonus.
Yeah, like the whipped cream or
a nice
arm
handbag.
candy.
Yeah.
But I think people who put that much hope and dependence on one other person are often disappointed. If you got a bunch of friends keeping you up.
Well, friends, and especially friends you've had a long time, they see you through everything.
Yes.
You were talking about your preschool friend, and my friend that I went to high school with that lives in Florida, we're like that. We'll text each other just random stuff out of the blue, and only see each other maybe once every 5 years at the next high school reunion. But she's seen me at my worst, she's seen me at my best, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I have well, whenever you say friend, I think of my bestie, I call him. We love movies, we love anything entertainment, we love to laugh and be stupid and make stupid jokes and sounds, and so I'll always have him. And I have some good friends from high school that, like they were saying, I don't talk to every day, but I can send something funny to him and know that he'll respond, and that's okay. We don't have to text every day to make that relationship work. And then I have noticed my friend circle has gotten smaller as I've gotten older, as people have gotten into relationship and kids, and a lot of my friends have young kids right now, and mine's getting older, but everybody else's are still really small, and I'm not jealous of that at all, but I know what they're going through. But that's why I was really thankful to find a job, because it kind of broadened my friend group and gets you out of the house. Yeah.
Okay, as you look back over your life, how have you changed? Do you see these changes as positive or negative?
I was, I guess, having a conversation about this recently with my mom. We went on a 7-day car trip, just the two of us, driving Miss Daisy. So we did lots of just talking about life in general and about our own lives. And I can remember being in high school and just being very, feeling really awkward and not feeling confident about myself in anything. And I was always afraid to take a chance or to try something new because I was just worried about failure. I don't worry about failure anymore. I figure, hey, I've survived. I've lived this long. But I kind of enjoy now trying something new, even if there's no guarantee of success. So I feel like I'm a more confident person. I hope I'm not an arrogant ass, but I think there's a difference in being confident and being arrogant. So I feel comfortable in who I am, I guess, as a person. This is just me. This is my personality. You don't have to like me. I wish you would, but if you don't, it's okay. But yeah, I think it's just more about feeling freer to take a risk and to try something different and just, I don't know, live a little more on the edge in some ways.
I think I'm different as I get older. My expectations are kind of lower. I used to like demand, like I want this to happen, I want this to happen, and when it didn't, I would be really down and disappointed, and it made me feel bad. But now I'm just kind of like, I'll take things as they come because it is what it is. It's not going to kill me. If it does, then I hope I go to heaven. But I just think that if you lower your expectations and your demands of other people, then you're not constantly disappointed because people are going to disappoint you. They're not all about you all the time. So I just think that I've changed in that I'm not as demanding of other people because there's no point.
I think to piggyback off what Catherine said, I've stopped expecting what I would do for others. I've stopped expecting that from others. Like my best is not everybody else's best. And that took a long time to think that other people would put as much into what
That's
I would
a
put
really good
into
point.
it
I
because
would agree.
they won't. And not reacting to everything, that took a long time. But I was so glad whenever I
just
stopped.
got good at that last year.
I mean, I still react. I'm not a master at it, but there's some things that it's like, meh, whatever.
I think part of that's age though. And
Yeah.
as the oldest person in the group, you know, you're like, you were glad when you got there and you said you just got there, but that does take time. It
And I
just
have gained a lot of confidence as I've gotten older.
You do.
I'm a lot more confident now than I was when I was 22. I definitely wouldn't want to be 22 again.
How's your outlook on life? Has it changed over the years, you think?
I don't know if mine's changed.
Is there something that brought it about, if it did?
I mean, I still have a good outlook, and some people still, you know, kind of rib me for being an eternal optimist. And it's not so much that I'm not always expecting the best out of other people, but I'm like you, that doesn't bother me anymore. But I do expect my life to be good, but that's because I make it that way. I do, you know, but I have the freedom to do that. Financially, you know, my husband and I both work. We have a decent income. Our kids are raised. They're gone. I have a grandchild that is the best thing ever. So I want to live longer. I want to keep being healthy. I want to fight against age every step of the way just so I can be around a long time to annoy a lot of people.
With your optimism.
Yes.
I forgot what the question was.
Your outlook on life has changed.
Has it changed? And if it did, what brought it about?
Nothing new. I mean, I just feel like they'll be what they'll be, and I need to react in the most positive way I can, and it'll be all right.
I think finally graduating school and knowing that I'm done gave me a sense of peace. School was, I mean, it's so stressful when you're in school and you have a child and then you try to take care of a home and you're trying to maintain a social life and also trying to be healthier, you know, and just make better life choices. And then also cutting myself some slack. Like if I have a bad day, you have a bad day. Go home, cry, watch TV, do whatever you have to do to make yourself feel better. If you don't go to the gym and you'd rather stay at home and watch Grey's Anatomy, that's okay too. Well, you know, they say you go work out and you'll feel better. Well, if you don't feel like it and you just want to veg out, then that's what I'm going to do.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I've heard you all speak of your health on that one. That's the next question, actually. How has your health been? No health problems, and at the moment, is your health fine?
Well, I did quit smoking 20 years ago, so
Yeah.
that horrible habit I played around with in my teens and 20s and into my 30s, I finally gave up. So I quit smoking 20 years ago, I guess. I
Good for
don't
you.
have health problems. I'm very fortunate. I do like to exercise. My friend Catherine does not, but we still love each other. I like it. I'm not especially good at it, but it does make me feel better, and it makes me less likely to lash out at my husband if I can go work out or run or walk or get outside. I enjoy being outside, so my health is good, and I hope I can keep it that way.
I'm still looking for that runner's high. But I'm in good health. I'm in good health, and I do go to the gym 2 days a week. I don't like it. It doesn't make me feel better, but I go. But I do want to be around for a long time too, because I feel like I am the one keeping the balls in the air right now for my family, my children especially, because my husband is, again, an only child, and they need me.
I've been blessed with good health. I do Zumba. I love to dance like that. I'm not very good at it, but I'll enjoy it, and I enjoy the group feel of it. And it's with one of my oldest friends from childhood, so that's fun. I get to stay in touch with her through that, and I want to be healthy. I want to set a good example for my son.
Y'all kind of went into the next question about do you exercise, but I will ask you this: do you eat healthy?
Depends. I ate healthy yesterday and today. That does not mean that I will tomorrow. So something that somebody finally said to me, it's just trying to find that balance. So, and I just have to, I know my own body and know that if I eat the wrong things, that I will just flat out feel bad. I won't have any energy. I won't be able to think clearly. So I try to do good at least 5 days a week.
I try. I sometimes do, sometimes don't. Casey?
I try, and I'll pack my lunch, but if someone offers me a cupcake, I'm going to eat the cupcake.
You gotta eat the cupcake.
Yeah, I'm going to eat the cupcake.
Or if Kathy makes coconut pie, you have to eat
I'm
it.
going to eat coconut pie.
How much do you sleep per night, and is it important to you?
Sleep is so important to me, and this is the struggle that my husband and I have, because he does not require sleep. He doesn't need it. He doesn't care about it. He doesn't value it. So I used to could sleep better than I can now, and I think it's hormonal and age and lots of stuff at work, and my brain's always going 95 miles a minute. So no, I don't sleep well. It's a hit or miss. It's like last night I got 6.5 hours, and that was amazing. It felt so good. But I was on a trip and I didn't have to sleep with him.
You
That's
had your
great.
own bed.
I had my own bed. It was amazing. It's a dream come true.
Sleep is important, and I try to get as much as I can. I don't get as much as I used to. Sometimes I have to take an Advil PM, but I feel better when I sleep better.
I don't sleep very well. I take melatonin, and it has to be in my own bed with my fan, no lights. It's a real like a newborn baby. Well, I guess babies sleep better than I do, but it's just it has to be the perfect climate, perfect everything for me to get my 6 hours of sleep that I fight to get. So
Okay. What would you like to be doing in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years?
Are we supposed to answer all three of those? In 5 years, because I can retire I could have retired this year, but I didn't. So I'm going to work at least 2 more years. So in 5 years, I would like to seriously be thinking about retirement, just so I have more time to spend with my grandchild and maybe have another grandchild. In 20 years, I don't know, hanging out with great grandkids and still going to races and enjoying life, drinking good wine and reading good books.
5 years, no, 6 years I can retire, and I'm going to. 10 years, I don't know. I really don't know. That's my answer, Casey.
I've always hated these questions. I don't do well with them. I don't know. I want to travel more. I know that much. I want to travel more My son is almost 13. He'll graduate high school before I'm 40. And so whether he travels with me or alone, I mean, he'll be an adult, so I want to travel.
Okay, are you looking toward the future mostly, or thinking about the past, or just concerned about the present?
I don't think about the past at all. The past does not concern me. It is over and done. Like Catherine would say, it was what it was. I think about the present in the sense that I have a job to do every day, and I have to be focused on deadlines and things of that nature. I want to spend more time again with my little man. And the future, just planning to try to stay financially and physically and mentally healthy. That's the plan, just so I can keep on keeping on.
I totally agree with Ann. The past, can't change it. Present does take up a lot of my attention right now with my children and my job. And the future, I think it'll be fine if everything works out according to my plan.
It's hard for me I don't worry about the past. Just let it go. Present is what I'm most concerned with, and it's hard for me to think about the future because I'm too worried about the present.
Today, yeah.
Yeah. I'm too worried about getting done what has to be done today.
Okay, this kind of goes into it too. Do you have a plan after you retire? Like, do you think you'll continue to work doing something else, or just retire? I mean,
Well, I have been working for a very long time, and I started working when I was 15, so no, I don't plan to have a job, but I plan to stay busy. I have this dream in my head that I'm going to be kind of like my mom and somehow get involved in something in the community that is worthwhile, but I can do that at my choosing. I will spend more time doing crafty things, I suspect.
I think that's my plan as well. I want to stay busy, but I don't want to work after I retire.
Retirement is so far away from me, I can't even fathom it yet.
okay, do you sometimes look over your life and review what's happened, where you've been, what you've done? Are you happy with it? Kind of a life review.
I can't, like I said, things that have happened have happened. So yeah, I don't really think about that other stuff a lot.
I don't at all.
You know,
I think about my parenting a lot, what I've done, or if I reacted, like with his new little girlfriend that he says isn't his girlfriend, and I want to go, I know she's your girlfriend, but I'm like, it's just gonna push him farther into her arms. You need to just be quiet. So I do think about that a lot, and I always think, did I do the right thing? Did I not do the right thing? I think and then you hit a plateau and you think, okay, this is smooth right now, and then it's like, nope, here we go again, back on the roller coaster. So I do rethink that a lot, if I made the right decisions with that.
what life experiences until now have given you the most pleasure?
Oh, my child. Casey knows y'all both know my Sarah. I'm proud of her. She was a good kid in school. I have to say that she never gave us a second of trouble. That's why the Lord sent me Denver, to help me pay for my raising.
Show you the other side.
Yes, show me the dark side. But I just get so much pleasure from her accomplishments. She's an awesome parent. She's a great teacher. She's a good wife. She's been a great daughter. She's attentive to all the people in her family, and just turned out to be such a great person. So
I'm still waiting on that.
It'll
I'm in the present with my teenagers. But I think if I had to identify something right now that I'm most proud of, I would say it is my career, because I had a great experience as a teacher. I've had the opportunity to, I feel like, help here at the high school, and I would like to continue to do that as long as I can. Until retirement.
And you've really helped me with my career, and I think I'm really proud of my education. I'm really proud of finishing school when there were so many times I didn't want to finish. I didn't think I could finish, and I didn't think I had it in me, and that's something I am really proud of.
Okay, what about your life experiences that have been challenging or they've been difficult? Is there something that sticks out in your head that's
Going back to school was hard because I was an adult, and it's no fun to take PE classes when you're in your 30s with a bunch of 18-year-olds, but they still made me do it at my college. And just balancing being a single parent, working, going to school full time. But that had its benefits because when Sarah went to college, she said, well, I know I can handle it. I watched you handle it. So I felt like it all happened. I got through it. It's the past.
My biggest challenge is definitely my daughter. She struggled her first year of college, academically, emotionally, mentally. It has been a giant burrito of problems. And hopefully next year will be better, but it has been my biggest challenge to date.
We've had, I spoke a little bit about with my brother, and I think whenever I realized nobody could change him, he can only change himself, and the only thing we could do was pray. That was a big turning point in my life. And then my son's dad, it wasn't a good relationship, but it taught me to know I deserve way better. And so everything happens for a reason. And I know that now, but
how do you want to be remembered?
As that annoyingly optimistic person. And as somebody that others could count on. Whether it's my family, my coworkers, my friends. I want to be that person that folks could go to in a time of need.
I think the same. I just want people to say, like, hey, she helped me when I needed XYZ, or, I was in a pickle and Miss Sarah straightened it out for me. So I just want to be remembered for maybe making someone else's life a little better.
You entertained mine.
Well, thank you.
I'll always remember that.
I want people to remember, I want to make sure I was kind to people and that people remember that. And if I can make somebody's life a little bit easier, that I did that.
Got any words of wisdom you'd like to share from your life experience?
My granny once told me never date a man with thin lips. She just said they weren't trustworthy. That sort of has played out in some places in my life. Gosh, I don't know.
I like that one. It's perfect.
Not really. Work hard, be fair, be nice to people, be true to who you are.
My mom, let's call this crazy quotes.
Okay.
She used to tell us, anything worth doing is worth doing right. It really is important to me that the quality of my work represents who I am, and it's not sloppy. And if I do something and my name is attached to it, I want it to be good. So I try to teach my children that. I don't know that I've been successful, but I just think it's important to do your best, whatever that is. Do your best.
I agree. Don't half-ass. Give 100%. It doesn't matter what you're doing, but give 100%. And also trust your gut about, like, if something doesn't feel right, then it's probably not right.
Thank you. Do you think about death? And with regard to your own death, have you made any preparations? Have you written a will? And how long ago did you do it, if you did?
My husband and I have not written a will. We have talked about it a lot in the last couple of years just because his mother passed away. He's had a couple of really close friends pass away, and we ain't getting any younger. My daughter and I have talked about my death and what we want to do, however we want to celebrate my passing. So it's not formal plans, but she knows what my plans are. I want to be cremated. I know where I want my ashes scattered, and I know what music I want played. And I prefer that people have a glass of wine and not cry too much.
would you say that you do not have death anxiety?
I don't, because I don't think about it a whole lot. I mean, I guess I just think about living all the time. I don't really think about death. I mean, it's gonna happen. I don't think I'm gonna live forever, but I wanna live for a long time, so I just try to make sure that I set myself up for that in every way I can.
I don't think about death that much. It's not that I'm not worried about it. But I have no will, even though my sister told me to write one, and my husband's an attorney.
Yeah, maybe I should get Joe to help me out.
But I don't know. I think some days I would probably be more anxious than others. I don't know. It depends on my mood or what shows I've watched.
Exactly.
But no, I'm not worried about death, and I don't think about it, and I don't plan on it. And y'all are just gonna have to come up with something cute.
We'll make it nice.
Yeah, thank
It'll
you.
be very nice.
I guess I think about it in a way that I'm cautious. I don't do things, I don't put myself in risky situations, but it's not on my mind every day. But I also worry about my child because he's an only child and I don't want him to have to, so I do have a will because I don't want that all to fall back on him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot because of my dad. My dad said, we're gonna do this, we're setting this up. What do you wanna do? Who's power of attorney, so we've got that all set up, but I just didn't want him to be responsible, and he's a boy, and who knows what he might just put me in a box in the backyard. I don't know. You just don't know.
Okay, does the thought of death scare you, and what about death frightens you?
I don't want to be a weenie. I don't want it to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just don't want it to hurt. So somebody better just give me some good drugs.
Yeah.
Maybe I should be more afraid of death. I have my own weird philosophies about what happens after death. But no, I mean, it's just part of the process. I guess I like to think that maybe I'll get to heaven, but I like to also think sort of outside of that spiritual sense and just think of it as I will just be part of the greater universe. So I just look at it in a kind of a weird way.
I forgot the question again. Also thinking about the song "Morning Has Broken."
We used to say that at my church all the time.
Does the thought of death
No,
scare you?
it doesn't scare me. Not today. Not right now. But I don't want it to hurt, and I don't want to be murdered. That's
Yeah.
all.
I've had to put a bunch of criminal minds.
Yeah, I don't want to be scared right before I die. I don't want to die in some gruesome manner. I just be an old lady in my sleep.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
In a perfect world.
In your bed with your fan.
Yeah, with my fan and the lights off and the blanket.
Ladies, thank you so much for participating in our interview.
welcome.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.